Hey guys, Jeff Ford, CTF coach in Hilton Head Island, South Carolina. I am here with Coach Craig, and we are starting test number 1 to explore some of the craziness that we might have going on. So the first functional movement screen test is going to be the deep squat. So I'm going to talk Craig through it. I'll tell you a little bit about what I'm looking for, and then he'll execute the test, and we'll see what we are working with for test number 1. So Craig, what I want you to do is find shoulder width stance. Okay, and no, not on the board quite yet. Okay. I want you to stay just right there. So okay. I'm going to move this out of the way. We definitely want to still see your foot position. So okay. I know in our regular classes we turn the feet out a little bit so we can get a better hip position and create a little bit more torque in those hips. Some of us, yes. So it depends on the person. For the purpose of the test, the standard is going to be shoulder width, and we need your toes to stay pointed forward. Okay. From here, I'm just going to make sure you are about shoulder width. So what we're looking for, Dal lines up with his upper shoulder here. Looks pretty good. Okay. So from here, what we're going to do is this is a deep squat overhead test. Okay. So he's going to bring the dowel and he's going to place it on his head just like so. Okay. So Craig, go ahead and put that on your head. Excellent. We want everything to stay neutral. His eyes are going to be on the horizon. And we want to make sure that the wrist and the elbow are in line. So Craig's looking good there. We also want to make sure that he didn't move his feet. Look at this, guys. He already moved his feet a little bit. Okay? Get into that natural spot. So that's something we're going to watch for. And I'm looking for a few things throughout this test. Craig, you're going to go ahead and press that dowel up overhead. Okay? What you guys are used to is that overhead squat position. We want to make sure, just like an overhead squat, his knuckles stay square to the ceiling. We recheck the feet, they look good. And then, Craig, what I'm going to have you do is I want you to squat as deep as you can. Hold that dowel parallel over your head. Try to keep it in that same plane. And let's just see what happens. So I'm going to say down. I want you to hold the bottom position for 2 to 3 seconds. Okay? Ready, down. All 1,000, 2 1,000, back up. Outstanding, Greg. Bring it back down for me. And typically we'll do a series of 3 just to see if the athlete gets it right on the second one or the third one. Otherwise, there's a progression down on each test. So we're just going to make sure he's in the right setup. We're going to bring the dowel. Just bring it down this way a little. There you go. Dowel even. We're going to check his feet so you can see the toes turned out a little bit. Again, if it happens during the test, that's going to change the score that we give him. Go ahead and press it back up, Craig. And squat. 1 1,000, 2 1,000, and stand back up. All right. So what we notice here, guys, and I want you to look at this, his left foot spun out and his right foot spun out. So if we can't keep the setup position, we're going to have to switch up the test a little bit. Okay? So you can go ahead and relax there, Craig. Normally I would take him through 3 runs of that, but we're going to go ahead and have him come over to the second progression. Okay? So Craig, what I want you to do, same thing here. We're going to square the feet off. All right? Shoulder width. And heels are going to be on the board this time. Okay. Okay. So go ahead and find that position for me. Again, we're just going to recheck, make sure he's in that nice shoulder width position. I think I'm going to have you come out just a little. And that looks pretty good there. Okay. From here, we're going to have him execute the same test. So start the dowel on the head. Bring the hands out just a little bit. We're looking for that 90 degrees. Go ahead, press it up overhead. And from here, Coach Greg, go ahead and squat. And stand back up. Great. You see his feet that time, guys? He maintained neutral. Pretty cool. Let's try one more, Craig. Just bring it down just to be sure. Go ahead and press it back up. Feet look good. And squat. 1 1,000, 2 1,000. And stand back up. Let's get Craig's feedback here a little bit. How'd that feel compared to the first test?
I felt a lot. I felt able to get my knees out. My hips felt looser. And my shoulders didn't hurt as much.
Yeah, pretty epic. And you probably saw that the dowel stayed right over neutral with his feet, so right in the middle of his feet the whole time. And he was able to move through that squat a little bit better. So given we saw him go through the range of motion with no pain, the feet stayed where they were supposed to on the setup position. Dowel stayed in a good position overhead. He maintained that midline. We would give Craig a score of a 2 on this. And remember, guys, 2s are cool.
2s.